Now, I know George Bush says Jesus Christ changed his heart, but believe me, Dick Cheney changed it back.
There are people out there, hundreds of thousands of them, probably millions of them, who are praying for Bill Maher, and he probably thinks that's icky. People really believe in God in this country. We're a God-fearing country.
Religion. It's a powerful healing force in a world torn apart by religion.
This division, this separateness, isn't getting any of us anywhere. So I set out across a nation divided to stimulate a conversation with anybody willing to have one. From Southern Baptists to occasional Catholics to concerned atheists and apathetic Protestants. Everybody believes something. Everybody's got a dog in this fight. But what impression does America have of Christians?
What are they known for? So to be holy, I guess.
Forgiveness.
Going to church.
Fanaticism.
Well, Christians are known for the Crusades.
Historically, warfare, but we try to forget about that.
Being good people.
Love thy neighbor type things.
Compassion.
Theatrics.
Loving Jesus.
Trying to live the right life, trying to do the right thing.
Jesus as a philosopher is wonderful. There's no greater role model, in my view, than Jesus Christ. It's just a shame that most of the people who follow him and call themselves Christians act nothing like him.
Most of them? Most Christians are
in this country.
bad?
Jesus said, before you look at the evil out there in the secular humanist, you'd better take a good look at the evil that is within your own lives. And I think it's time for the evangelical community to begin to say, what's wrong with us?
If we're delivering a message that the people of America don't want to hear, so be it. As long as we're not delivering it in a way that they won't listen in the first place.
Our evangelicalism is perceived as we hate you, So I think that to that extent, we need to tone down.
I'd say that the people at a Christian Coalition event are nicer than the people at the Democratic Convention, by and large. But there's like this 10% that are just kind of not nice and kind of hostile and kind of angry about this whole thing.
Even though I was a believer, and perhaps because I was a believer, I was cynical. Not about God, but about God's politics.
This is ABC 7 News at 6:30.
Sex, drugs, and suicide. New at 6:30 tonight, a faith-based campaign for America's young people, the battle cry.
So on the steps of City Hall, you had the battle cry folks, the Christian folks, and they were singing and praying and that. And on the other side, you had just sort of a very quickly put together all-star cast of San Francisco's more colorful figures from the left.
And so first thing they said to me is, so what do you think about, because most of them were men dressed up like women, so what do you think about these homosexuals? I said, oh, we love homosexuals. Now, we don't like what they do, we don't like their lifestyle, but we love them as people.
Because it was a group of Christians coming to the city which felt like condemning us, and when we got there, that's what it felt like.
This collision of faith and culture is playing out on the car bumpers of America in the form of the Jesus fish. Now, it's funny to me that this symbol of faith is annoying to people. So much so that the Bill Maher fan club jumped into the primordial ooze and the Jesus fish evolved. And the Christians were like, Darwin? Evolution? I don't think so. This ain't Russia. So here comes the truth fish to chomp on Darwin. Ha! Take that, secular humanists!
There is a culture war going on.
Absolutely.
Let's educate the people. What is the culture war, and why is it so important?
Well, the culture war is between secular progressives like yourself.
I am not a secular progressive, sir. I am
No.
a deep religious man who will do anything you say. Go ahead.
On your left, the liberal media elite. On your right, the young conservatives.
Since so much of the heat behind the culture wars can be traced to our inability to think like the other guy, we took a page from my favorite 70s game show to see if we could get polar opposites to think outside of their respective boxes.
Name a reason you would consider having an abortion.
Ooh, I would say life of the mother.
Let's see if that is on the board. Mother at risk. You're on the board. All right.
The young conservatives got off to a fast start, but things went downhill from there.
I think we're going to do incest. Not literally, but I mean.
Right,
yeah,
should we leave?
We're gonna go with incest.
Do you guys want a moment? Dim the lights?
Yeah.
we rented a space at Portland's Waterfront Park to join in the festivities at Pride Northwest. There, we would invite people, probably mostly gay people, into the confessional booth to hear my confession.
When Jesus is really clear about how he asks for me to love one another, and I apologize for not doing that, for not loving you the way that I should.
I accept your apology, and I want to say thank you for speaking up, because I'm tired of people not speaking up anymore.
It's very touching, the apology. I'm not sure that I'm worthy of receiving the apology. That's the hard thing.
Oh, that's very nice, and I forgive you, and thank you. And I wish that there were more people who would think it all like that.
I was completely surprised by two things. One, the power of an apology. And two, the willingness of people to engage. I think the apology created a foundation for a conversation.
So if there was a God-given purpose for a storm as such, it was to wake up the Christian community. And I see a far higher purpose in that than punishing a community because of certain sinfulness.
If all you want to do is judge, then you're not doing what God has for you to do.
So what did we find in Biloxi? The act of God was in the recovery.
You see just van after van after van, bus after bus after bus with, you know, a Baptist church from Georgia or a Methodist church from Illinois or you know, it's mind-boggling to see.
One thing that this storm did was to place everyone on basically the same level. Regardless of ethnicity, the color of your skin, Katrina didn't care about skin color. She didn't care about financial status, educational level. Everyone was affected across the board.
Love conquers everything. And if we can keep that kind of feeling going long after this hurricane, not only this area, but the rest of the nation will be so much better.
Tonight we have about 70 volunteers from about 10 to 14 different churches. Our focus is really to love people the way we think Jesus would love on people. These are the kind of places that we think Jesus would show up if he were here today. That's what Bridgetown does. It provides an opportunity, obviously, for the body of Christ to come be the church rather than just go to church on a Sunday.
It's a risk to be open to someone else, to be vulnerable, and to accept a gift that you feel that you don't deserve.
If you know, like the Last Supper, the last thing Jesus did was wash all of his disciples' feet.
How's that for symbolism?
I think it's hard not to be inspired by witnessing something like that. And I think that if you want to talk about what is the best face of religion, the face of religion that is not divisive, but that brings people together and lifts us up, that's it.